All right. All right. So, welcome back to our calls. These calls on Tuesday, if you guys didn't know, are our business calls, right? And so, these ones we talk more about the business behind it. On Thursdays is going to be our software development calls, right? So that's where we're actually building stuff. This one is actually like sometimes there's two parts, right? There's what you got going on, what you're like building, which is our Thursday builds, and then our Tuesdays is how to make money from that thing, right? Like how to actually monetize what we're doing and what we're building or what we're creating. And so we have Troy, Austin, and Sam showing up today. Let's go. What up, Sam? Good to see you, man. I'm glad you're here. If you can't hear us, so there you are. Woohoo! Yeah, what's up, man? Awesome. All right. So glad you popped in. All right. So today we're going to be talking about probably what I thought is the most pivotal thing that you can do when you're whether you're just starting out in business or whenever you're like going from a like starting to have clients, right? And I believe there's two parts of having a business, right? There is the creation of your product, right? So whatever product and service you decide to sell, and then there's actually like the delivery of like, so there's the like you create it, but then there's the sales part too, right? So you got to sell your product. You can't just create it. You can't just build in the dark. You have to sell it. All right. And so I believe you could sell things like software, but I also believe you could sell services, right? And so today we're going to be talking about contracts and services. All right. And what I believe is probably the most pivotal thing is going from one-time clients, like, thank you, to a lifetime client. All right. And so I believe there's a huge difference. All right. So anybody have any questions? What you guys got before we get started? And do you guys have any clients? Like, what kind of clients do you guys have? Have you guys ever had clients? Fill me in.
So I'm possibly having I was just talking with someone, they want I believe it's an accountability app.
Okay.
Or a daily planner app built
Okay.
in with accountability. And yeah, there's that, and then I signed on a client yesterday. Had to refund him because I used Square, and Square completely just shut my account down. So I had to refund him, and hopefully I sent him a Stripe invoice this morning.
Nice. Look at you. Way to recover, man. Way to recover. Right. Cool. How about you, Troy? What you got? Who do you help?
You know what? I was just thinking about it. I'm not sure how to put it. I mean, if you from real estate, I'm still kind of in that vertical, that industry, but more on the social media lead gen marketing side for my mom's office. So I guess I want to say that not on a real official capacity have I had clients, except when I was working as an agent. But in terms of what we're speaking of, not so much. But I guess in an unofficial capacity, it's at some level, but not really at scale. So there's a lot I have to learn.
Okay. Cool. All right. Very cool. What about you, Sam? You got any clients? You ever had clients before?
No,
Okay.
I haven't charged for any services, and I currently do not have any clients.
All right, cool.
I mean, it's okay, but
Yeah,
I'm ready to get some clients for some stuff that I think I'm okay at, like video content. I've been talking to Chris the last few days since not the last session, but the session before that, when you were like, just get an offer out there. I was like, okay, so I've been working hard on like something for $7, then upsell, like, you know what I mean, downselling the whole thing. But yeah, just looking. I have my offer like in my mind what I want to do. Now I'm getting all the folders together for onboarding and all the checklists and stuff like that to give away and also to actually use.
Okay. Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, I guess with me, I guess for so long, I mean, my mom's been in real estate, has a large office, and I did a lot for her office and for her and her team. And so I get a lot of other agents in her office because it's a very large office that would say, hey, you want to do mine? You want to do mine? You want to work for me? So my opportunity for clients has been big and over the years, but I've always, you know, I work to live, not live to work, I like to say. So I see down the road what taking on that really would entail in the long run, right? And what there's a lot of responsibility that comes with that. And hopefully when you manage your money and your cash flow well, you know, you're going to come out ahead. But oftentimes you can just overwhelm yourself with a bunch of clients, when if you just keep it lean and mean, you could live the same life rather than have to babysit a bunch of clients. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what you have to say, because so often I'm kicking myself thinking, gosh, I remember when these people were nobody and I was doing more than them, and now they've taken on, you know, from 15 years ago, 20 years ago even, are massive, you know, and have multiple companies, and you know, more power to them. But you know, and then I think, what have I been doing during that time? I've been going to concerts, comedy shows, traveling a bit, you know. So I always go back and think of when I was going to school, and I was graduating, and you can Google search this story, but it was about an investment banker that went to Mexico, and then, you know, he went with his family, and they went fishing, and then they grill on the beach with this Mexican family that took them out, and they loved the lifestyle that this family in Mexico led. So he went back to New York City, did his investment banking, only to move to Mexico and live the life they've been living the whole time. You know, and so those are the sorts of things I think about a lot before taking on huge responsibility and living to work rather than working to live.
That is beautiful. Yeah. That kind of plays into working to live instead of working, like living to work, like essentially, like, so you guys could see my attire, right? Like I have a robe, and this is pretty much what I live in and I work in. This is my outfit. This is what I'm in all day. Like, unless it's summer in Vegas, then it's in, you know, shorts and flip-flops and by the pool, you know, but like I'm still working. So here's what I realized, right? I realized in my story, I had a job. I was doing sales, email marketing for an ammo company, right? And it was awesome. It was a family-owned business. It was glorious, right? We were making money. I was working from home. However, I remember I got in trouble because I was doing photography. And I started doing photography for this guy in Phoenix, and he does gun like photos for like really big gun magazines, like Recoil magazine, all these things. And I was taking the photos that were getting published in those magazines, and I was getting paid, right? It was great. I was like just started photography that year. Like I was really into it. And all of a sudden my boss, which was my uncle, right? My family member, right? My boss, I was excited because I got our ammo in the photos of the guns, and then I got it in the magazines, right? So like we were about ready to pay for those as a cert, like we were about ready to pay the magazines $5,000 for that, and I just got it in for free by taking the photo and then putting it in the magazine, right, with that guy. So I thought my boss was going to be like, "Great job, Jeff, woohoo!" You know, like. But here's what he said. He said, "Wait. So I'm paying you salary and you're moonlighting." You guys ever heard that term before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He didn't understand what you were doing.
No, you know, it's funny is it's just off topic, and I'll say it real quick, is on Hulu, the old show with the actor, now I'm spacing from Die Hard, but Moonlighting. I've been watching that when I fall asleep at night. So
With Bruce Willis.
yeah, that's it. Bruce Willis. Yep.
Yeah. And so I got in trouble for moonlighting. And I think that kind of is what started the disagreements. And maybe like he thought I was running off to help somebody else. When in my brain, I was thinking, holy cow, look at this connection. This is going to change the company. It's huge, you know. However, and so we had this disagreement. So in that time, there was a mental foundational shift where it's like, I understand if I know more people, I'm going to be more valuable to the company. Well, why shouldn't I know more people? Why shouldn't I help more people with my skills? And then it started to like, you know, like maybe I started to bounce around, right? I started to realize that, okay, like, and then eventually I ended up getting let go, right? And there was a tough time during that time. However, I realized I was never going to go get a job. Mainly, I didn't have an option to get a job. It wasn't like I was like, no, jobs suck. It was more like I was already 2 weeks behind rent. I already moved in with my wife's family. You know what I mean? Like I was already living with my family of 5 in their 1 bedroom, working out of his garage in there. You know, like he said, hey, they didn't charge us rent, luckily, you know, but I still got to pay for food. I still got to pay for gas. I still got to do the things. So like a job is going to pay me in 2+ weeks if I got it today, you know? Well, if I got a client, like when you pay for a service as a business, think about this, right? If I went out for a job today, somebody's going to give me a job and then they're going to pay me in 2 weeks. Well, if I went out for a service and I was to hire someone to like build me something in my backyard, I have to pay them up front first.
Yeah.
So for me, you see how it's greatly beneficial for me and my situation where it's like, wait, if I sell email marketing services to businesses, which is the same thing I did in my job, the same exact thing. If I sell that service as a service, I get paid up front and then I could deliver the service. This is great. This is a win-win. Like I'm in, you know, so I started selling services, right? I built a landing page. I went and created, it was called Free Gifts for Stoners. I switched to the cannabis niche and I started building email lists for cannabis companies, right? And then I sold, in order to participate in my giveaway, right? For those companies, they had to pay $1,000 a month each, right? So I was, hey, like this is the same thing I was getting paid, but now I was making $2,000 from 2 people, right? Which was the same amount of money I was making in my job, $1,000 each. So all of a sudden, hey, I was back on top and I owned my own thing. And now if I know more people, well, I was getting I was doing the magazine thing back when I went into the cannabis industry, right? Now I was taking photos in the cannabis space and then getting them published. You know, like when you have a good skill or something, you could take it to wherever, right? If it's photography, you could take it to another thing. If it's software development, you could take it to another thing. If it's website building, you could take it to another thing. If it's social media management, Troy, you can take it to real estate. You can take it to any of these niches and you can sell. Real estate is fantastic because that's a lot of money, right? Like sell higher price things, right? So now here's the thing. So I put some slides together. So I'm going to share my entire screen.
Wonderful.
All right. So contracts. All right. Boom. So you guys remember last time we talked about cups, right? Right. Woohoo, we got somebody else joining. Look at this.
Look at this.
Let them in the class. Edward, welcome to class, man. Welcome to class. All right. Edward, when you join us, welcome. All right, cool. So here we go. We have the contracts. So if you guys remember the last class we talked about being able to hold a cup, right? And these cups are essentially how much you're able to hold and collect rain, right? When you're holding a cup, the bigger the cup, the more money you're able to collect, right? Well, contracts for services, if you do it right, can be extremely large monthly reoccurring cups. Okay, so that's my bold claim. All right, so learning objective. Why having a contract is important for you and your clients. How to create a contract, okay? And And then we'll open up questions. All right, how I personally learned. Okay, so here's the thing is, whenever I first started selling websites, I was building websites for the ammo company. I was taking photos. I was their online marketing manager guy, right? Well, after I started taking photos in a different industry, in the cannabis space, well, people started saying, well, what do I do with the photos? Right? How do I make money for the photos? Well, then I'm like, well, you have to promote it on your website and you have to build a social media, right? So then they said, well, can you build me a website? Yeah, sure. It's going to be $2,000. So I literally charged them $2,000, right? I was like, woohoo, made $2,000. And then I had to build them that website. Right? So imagine if you just got the money, you're all excited, you go out and you buy your family food, you go out to a nice dinner, woohoo, you know, like you made some money, right? But then you have to build the business. You have to build whatever you just sold them. So for me, I was building these websites. And then about day 20, day 30, day 30, well, guess what? That $2,000 that I just sold them, well, I spent it all, right? Right. Like I told you, I was in the cannabis industry, so I obviously have a spending habit right there, right? Right. So, hey, right. And then I have a family of 5 to feed, right? So therefore, I spent the $2,000 as normal humans would, right? So I personally learned when you're spending that, you get a client and you charge them that first month. That first month, it's going to take out to build. The second month, sometimes it's going to still take out to build. And then you're going to deliver the product. But a lot of times, you're still working on the contract. You're still working with them. So I wasn't done building the website, but I spent all the money. So now I'm in a situation where, well, dang, I have to go get another contract or another client. I have to go get a freaking another client. And I have to finish this one. And now I'm facing the issue of the client is going to be mad at me because I sold them a product and I wasn't able to deliver it, And so I sold them this one-time deal, bam. And then I wasn't able to deliver it in 30, 60 days, because I had to get more clients because I had to go eat, right? So it became very hard and very, very tough in our business, right? And so now here's the thing, right? So I'm going to pause this really fast. Let me pause this. Boom. All right. So actually I can share. So in our business, I had my wife send us a little screenshot of kind of because have you guys ever heard the statement, right? Numbers don't lie, right? Well, numbers don't lie. If I just break down our journey, right? Well, we could actually see our journey so far, right? And this is still a journey, okay? And like, this is my journey. This isn't your journey. Your journey might be something different. All right. So here is from December 2019 to today, currently. Okay. So far, we haven't crossed $1 million in our business, right? We're at 818,000 so far. But if you look at the very beginning and we look at these, a lot of these, it wasn't like an actual, like, you could see some of these are like, if we just look at these little, like, very first few times, like very few numbers, you could kind of see how, like, it was like one time sell, and then nothing, or like a lower. This is not the same height because it's not a contract, right? And then you could kind of see there's no like significant repeatable spikes, right? Well, as we start to get like better, we start to sign contracts. And this is my wife's Stripe account. So even before this, I was using my own Stripe account. And it was just even worse than this. It was just, there was no like congruency. However, if you see the ones as we start to get in this last year, we're at 318, right? Well, like, we're actually getting contracts. And here's the thing is, you could say, well, Jeff, like, are you overworked? Do you have like a ton of contracts and you have a ton of clients? No. These aren't a ton of spikes. This is the same 3 spikes for like since like these last years, right? So we max out at 3 clients. That's it. Why? Because I don't want to work more than 3 clients. I have no desire, absolutely no desire to work more than 3 clients, right? Like, it starts to impede on my time. Then I have to build an agency. I can't just have one guy, like maybe one day, sure. That's the objective, is to have more clients. And maybe that's why I have this group, is because we're going to start having freaking awesome, clients. We're going to know how to build those. But I would much rather send you guys the clients, because I have a lifestyle business. Well, guess what? After I build my clients, well, I have my big cups. Those are my huge cups. Like, I have one software client that pays $15K a month. That's more than I made in like 6 months at my old job. One client. But I have 2 other clients that pay all my other bills. So all of a sudden, when I get a $15K client, that's a cherry on the top. Like, dang. And now I have the freedom to work on my client stuff, but I have the ability to go build all my other stuff, because the reality is the client work does take up a lot of time. It takes time. It doesn't mean you can't focus it, right? So here's a story, right? I actually have it at the very end of this. So at the very end, have you guys ever heard of Aesop's fable? Right? So Aesop's fable is the idea of the goose and the golden egg, right? So it was one day, there's this farmer, and he wakes up and he hears like squawking in the barn, and he goes out there and he has a goose, right? And he looks up underneath the goose and he finds a golden egg. Right? And he's like, look at this, my freaking riches. I'm going to be rich. I have a golden egg. And at first he's like, you know what? Like, hold on, maybe this isn't real. So he like kind of tosses it aside. And then, he's like, all right, I'm going to check this. So he takes the golden egg, gets it appraised, and he finds out it's a solid golden egg, right? The goose laid a golden egg, right? So he's like amazed, right? So the very next day, same thing. He goes out there and the goose has laid another golden egg, right? And all of a sudden, every single day, this goose is laying these fabulous golden eggs, right? And so the farmer, one day he's like, you know what? The farmer becomes super rich. After a while, he gets a little impatient. He's like, you know what? I want all of the golden eggs. I want all of them. So he thinks, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab a hatchet, and he goes out to the barn and he cuts open the goose to try to get the golden eggs. And in that time, he has killed the goose. And here's the thing is, the farmer actually didn't find any golden eggs inside the goose. So not only has he killed the goose that produced the golden eggs, he has lost the asset that can produce it, right? Like, he no longer gets the golden eggs. He lost the goose and he lost the golden eggs, right? A lot of times, right, as crazy it is, people do this in their marriage, right? Or their relationship, right? However, I'm going to tell you the truth. I personally have done this in the last week with my clients. Me personally. I've taken advantage in my brain. What I think is I've been collecting the 15K golden egg. Woo-hoo-hoo! Good job, Jeff. Good job. But guess what I haven't been doing? I haven't been delivering and producing in return the golden eggs for my clients like I should been. And this is a self-realization. And it doesn't mean that my clients aren't happy. They've still been with me for 3 years. But guess what? I personally know I could produce some really awesome golden eggs in return. And so this last week, right, some people have been hitting me up. They've been messaging me. But I've been like, nah, I've been busy, man. I have clients that I'm going to make sure get golden eggs before I get my golden eggs. And I'm going to care about the goose, which is my clients that produce the golden eggs, right? So if you do have a job that you love cashing your check, you know what I mean? Right? You should take care of your goose that takes care of you, right? And so this is about learning how to take care of the goose of the clients. Because when we started to get reoccurring revenue with clients, we actually had to do something called over deliver. And I believe that I got to a point where I was over delivering. And now it's like, that just became my normal. So, but I feel like I've toasted in the reality. I know personally deep down, I could, right? Last night was Monday game night, right? My buddies and I, we, for the last like probably like 3, 4, 5 months, we always jump on every Monday, play games, right? Play Call of Duty together, cool off. However, you know, I was like, you know what, like, I'm going to do Monday goal night instead. And I'm going to go, and I looked at all my goals, and I looked at the goals that I actually want to take care of. And the first one is my health, right? And so it's the health of my ability to produce a golden egg, right? So if I'm not in shape, if I'm not active, if I'm not running and taking care of myself, well, I'm not going to have the energy to even work on my client stuff, show up to these freaking groups, right? Like when I first started doing this, I had to take a nap. Well, what if I went on a walk instead? Right? So like taking care of the client and making sure that they get their golden eggs, you in return are going to get your golden eggs, right? And so I believe help enough people get what they want, and you're eventually going to get what you want. And so helping clients first, you got to make sure, right? They're a golden egg, right? We have the cup, but you have to think of the flip side too. Our clients are the ones that are deciding to hire you for this. It's not a one-sided exchange, okay? And it's not a one-sided. There is a behind the scenes where you as a person have to deliver. You have to say, and that means spending the time, blocking out the time and saying, I'm going to focus on this. Or the cool thing is when you have a contract and it's large, spending that money to hire somebody else to do the job. Okay. So personally, I learned the hard way is sometimes when you get one-time contracts and you just say, hey, it's $10,000, it's $5,000. Well, guess what? You're going to spend that in 30 to 60 days. I promise you, even if you're really good at saving, and then you're going to have to go get a new contract, a new client, right? So understand, take care of the goose, and you're going to be able to have clients for a long time. Okay. All right, one-time projects or end date projects, completed project markers, simple tasks. It doesn't mean you can't have these. It doesn't mean that these don't exist, right? You could have a logo that only takes it. However, you need to think of more of like, if I build this for somebody, if I create this for somebody, what are they going to ask next, right? What are they going to ask for next? Like, if you have you ever seen that book? If you give a mouse a cookie, right? Well, he's going to ask for more milk. Then after he's going to ask for more milk, he's going to want a bedtime story, right? After he gets a bedtime story, he's going to want a bath, right? All of these things, the mouse just keeps wanting and wanting and wanting. Well, that's long-term thinking, right? That's thinking about the health of the goose over and over for long term. After I build them this one thing, after I give them social media management, what do they need? Well, they're going to need graphics. They might need landing pages to send that to. Well, then they need emails follow-up. Well, then they need website built. Well, then they need, they might need articles written to get press releases, right? There's always thinking about what they're going to need next, okay? So methods of getting paid. You can also get paid hourly, right? That's cool. If you want to sell your time hourly, however, you're selling a limited resource. You're selling you, right? You can't, if somebody says, hey, like I'm here to apply for this job, awesome. You can't hire somebody else to go do your job. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't work like that. You're stuck into it. It's a limited resource, your time, right? You can't scale it. We all have 24 hours. I have 24 hours. You have 24 hours. We're on the same playing field. Tony Robbins has 24 hours. We all have the same 24 hours. There's no like home field advantage. There's no anything. There's just your time. Well, if you sell your time, well, then you only have 24 hours of those to sell. Doesn't mean you can't sell it, but it's a limited resource. So increase the value over time, right? So my preferred method is getting contracts because you own the contract, right? So
Jeff, you see Sam and Austin have their hands raised.
Oh, you're awesome. All right, what you guys got? Spit it.
Okay. All right. I just real quick wanted to say when you were talking about having recurring income. So currently I drive a taxi in Las Vegas, and one of my passengers was this OG from New York who had he was he was in business for himself for, I don't know, 50 years, whatever it was. And he said that the key to business is having recurring income. So then he went on, he sat there in my cab after like the ride was finished talking to me about this. He was like, salons, like assets that bring in monthly rent, you know what I mean? So that's all I wanted to add was like, the OG said it himself, and he knows because he's about to die. He's like swirling the drain.
Yeah.
But that's what worked for him.
Heck yeah.
That's you know what I mean? When you want to tell somebody who's like at the beginning of their journey, but you kind of like are at the end of the same journey, you want to be able to tell them like, hey, here's the friggin' cheat codes.
This is it, man.
Yeah. So that's what he said. That's all I wanted to add. Thank you.
That's what's up, Sam. What you got, Austin?
So I actually got a question for you, Jeff, because I've been thinking about it the past couple days. So you own a web design agency and you have this client. Are you upselling them on a landing page?
Oh yeah, bet. Right. So now we're gonna dive in. I love that. That's a great segment, right? Because we're gonna talk about like what's the difference between even using the word upsell, right? So let me show you, right? An upsell is as you're in the sales process, you're asking them for stuff, right? So you're saying, do you want this also? Do you want this also? So in that sales process, yes. However, in that sales process, I'm letting them know what they're going to get. So check out this, right? So I'm letting them know what they're going to get in that sales process. And it kind of just rolls into it, right? So we're going to get to that part of like all of that, especially with website building, right? Because that's my favorite thing. All right. So that's coming up, Austin. Great question, man. Great question.
Awesome.
All right. So here's the cool thing. All right. So when I was in Phoenix, I was also helping my uncle out with a custodial company, right? A cleaning company, right? And that cleaning company, basically it like I was working the ammo company and they came to me one day and they said, hey, Jeff, like, can you come over and like help the cleaning company because the CEO just quit, right? They have 120 employees over there doing the cleaning. They clean stadiums down in Phoenix, right? They clean like baseball stadiums, the college stadiums. They clean the whole entire college campus. Like they have some contracts they've had in place for 20 plus years, right? Well, I come in, I don't know anything about cleaning besides the cleaning I did in the military, right? Like cleaning the bunks, right? But that's with like a mop, you know what I mean? Like it's not the same. This is industrial cleaning, right? This is like you have 24 hours to turn over the entire state. You have like basically 6 hours to get the gym clean because they just had a basketball game there with like, 5,000 people and you have to clean the bleachers before the next morning, right? And how are you going to do that? You have to have 30 guys, right? And so we owned the contract. Well, they said, hey, Jeff, could you come in and help us because the CEO quit? So I said, yeah, sure. And we had a little mastermind meeting where they all worked with me to help. How am I going to solve this? Well, we all came to the conclusion, well, I am not the person that's going to go out there and like clean, right? I'm not the guy that's doing this. So I need to find somebody else that can do all of the cleaning. So I went and met a guy named Frank, right? And Frank and I had the wildest time in my entire life, right? Frank and I went down to probably 15 plus clients that they've had in business for like a really long time. And Frank has been doing cleaning in Phoenix for like 25 years. So I, as the contract owner, outsourced and subcontracted to Frank. And then Frank did the whole job. I owned the contract. Frank did the job. He had all his guys. They came and did the work. I owned the contract. Frank did the job. Right? It was glorious. It was the coolest thing because we are able to like easily transition. Frank's been doing this forever. He has all these guys. He knows how to do it. He hired all our team that we were letting go, and boom, we didn't have to do anything. Well, the same thing with clients, right? You own the contract itself, right? So you're not tied to the actual work. It's not attached to your time. It could be, but it doesn't have to be. right? So you can hire out to complete the task, or you can do it by yourself. You can get more than one client. I put then, right? More than one client, right? You can also give yourself a raise by getting another one, right? Hey, look, me and my wife right now, just to let you guys know, we're probably going to be moving to, not probably, we are going to be moving to California in the next 5-6 months, right? We have a really nice place that we like, Northern California, not Southern. However, it's pricey, right? It's a pretty penny, right? So guess what? Guess who's going to give themselves a raise? By getting clients, right? So here's what's crazy. When I first started selling websites and selling products, I was building my own products. Okay. So I was building my own products. Okay. So, I was building my own products. So in a sense is like, how do you go out and get like a client? Well, I was building my own websites. I was learning sales funnels. I was learning how to set up emails, and I was doing that. So if I was learning how to do that for myself, because I was setting up I was working on my $7 product. Remember, that's what I was working on. I was going to set up my first cup, right? So kind of like Sam, what you were saying, you're working on your first little $7 product. Well, I was doing the same. I was learning the websites. I was learning the emails. I was reading the books. Well, here's what else I was doing. Right? There's this saying is if you teach while you're learning, you're going to learn more, right? Just by simply teaching others while you're doing something, you're going to learn more. All right. So for me, I'm going through this process and I'm learning more than you guys probably are as students, because I have to research what we're going to talk about. I have to go make the slides. I have to like make sure I have the class. I have to like, we were going to learn AI music. All right. Well, I have to learn the app. I have to learn how to hit continue. You guys all ask me questions. So I end up learning faster. Right. So I learn faster. Well, all of a sudden, if you want to build a website and you want to build a software, if you want to build a song, or if you want to do any of these, how many other people want to do the same thing? And they don't know how to do it, but you're over there learning how to do it, and you can get paid to learn how to do it. You just have to sell it as a contract. Does it mean that I started right now I have software clients that pay $15K, right? Does it mean I started off $15K? No, I didn't. I started off super cheap. I started building websites first. I learned how to do that. And then I worked on the next step, and then the next step, right? Just small bites. And then you work your way up, right? So once it's built, right? So how you think of contracts, right? Once you create that contract, kind of like what Austin just said, what about the upsells, right? What about the products like that, right? Like, what do you offer them? Well, now that it's built, now what? After you build their website, now what? Well, how do they get people to see the website, right? Well, there's social media management, right? Well, now they have social media management. Now what? Well, they need images. Now what? Now they need ads. Well, now what? Now they need optimization, right? So you keep asking, now what, right? What next? What's next? How can I help this person get the golden egg next, right? And so it's all about helping them win in doing that job as best as you can. Right. So website building, one time.
Austin,
What you got, Austin?
So yeah. So you're saying that so we're talking about we're talking about right now is the upsells, but I guess my question is, okay, someone comes to you and asks you how much for a software. What is your answer? Because I get that question every day. How much is the software? How much is the software? And then they don't ask about the maintenance of the software. They just want to know how much it is to build the software.
Yeah, it's
so
a month,
okay.
as long as you want me on your team.
Okay. I guess that was just the question. Because
here's the reality, right? Think about your favorite software, right? Let's just say you do a good job, because we do a good job, right?
Yeah.
That's what we do. We over deliver
Exactly.
and we do the job, right? So you do a good job, and think about your favorite software, right? Let's just say ClickFunnels. Are you happy with ClickFunnels' current state?
No.
No. Do you want more features?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Right?
there you go. Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see how powerful that is? Like when do they not want more features? When do they users, right? Here's the thing is you as the long-term thinker need to understand that, right? There's two parts. Okay. So I have a you guys know I have a class inside the school group that talks about how to sell websites, right? And it talks about there's three parts. There's the dream home, the driveway, and then the location. All right. Well, the dream home is like over time, you have a dream of what you want your software to be or your website to be, your business to be. You have this dream. Well, like, when are you done building the dream?
You're never.
You're never
You're
done building it.
continuously building it.
You're continuously building it. Well, if you do a good job, the person that they build with, the goal they should have when they meet you is I'm going to know you for the rest of my life.
Right.
Right? Like, and it might sound like overwhelming, but what happens when you actually build quality relationships and you only need 2 or 3 clients?
Right.
You don't have to have that many. My clients appreciate me. Every once in a while, the lowest one drops off, and then I pick up somebody for my new price, and then we're back to 3. You know, like I'm not stressing. My bills are paid in time. You know, like I'm solid. You know, like it's a different lifestyle, you know, like it's a lifestyle business. If you start to get more, then yeah, sure, run an agency. I hope my management skills are there one day. Right now, they're not. Right, every step. Right, we're always eating an elephant, but one bite at a time. You know, and so, however, like I do have dreams where I have multiple houses. I do want to come back to Vegas one day, but I want to have this as my winter house, and then I come back and forth. You know, like doesn't mean I want to move away from Vegas forever. I just want to. My kids are getting about ready to go to high school. Well, I could live on the internet. I live on the internet, right? Like this is my work uniform. I don't have to drive anywhere. I can work anywhere I want because I sell stuff on the internet. So therefore, if I could choose where I want to live, well, I might as well pick and buy my neighbors. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole different community out there. And so that's kind
So
of
I missed your answer. I don't know if you cut out or if it was just kind of low. So the answer to his question of what do you tell them when they ask what you charge? What did you say?
Yeah, $10K a month, as long as you want me on your team.
Okay.
Right now, websites, sometimes I have an upfront payment for the cost of the build, right? So you could do that, right? So you could say, hey, like the first 2 months, that's going to be the majority of the build. It's 5,000, and then it goes to 2,500. However, I believe that there's more work to be done after the initial build, right? Because let's just say I have, and it's about who you're selling to, right? Like, let's just say you're selling to a doctor that wants to have a course online. Well, you have to build the website, and then you have to build the course. Well, they want all the course information. Then they have to support the course, the students, right? Then it doesn't just go away. When you build something like this, think about this. When you sell something to somebody, you're selling them a whole bunch of problems also, right? So when you sell something, you're like, if I sell you a car, what problems am I selling you? Selling you the problem that you have to go get gas every freaking time. You have to change your tire and your oil. Your car might break down. There's a problem, right? There's a problem that you might have to give people rides, right? But you might say, well, that's also an opportunity, right? So it's an opportunity to use your emails. It's an opportunity to sell them social media marketing because they need it. It's an opportunity to sell them ads. It's an opportunity to build them software, Austin. You know, and Sam, you talk to so many people while you're driving, you might literally like build something that adds all those people to some type of directory just so you're building a massive email connection list. You know what I mean? And then you're leveraging what you're doing, right? What I made the problem of is I was shitting on my eggs, man. Don't shit on your egg. Don't shit on your gooses. You know what I mean? Like your job is, dude, some people don't have a job. And then they're over there like, now you're over there like, freaking, I'm trying to pay my freaking bills and eat. But if you got your food paid, woo, stay up late, wake up early, don't play video games, right? Like cut out one of the fun things that you like normally would do and build a business. You know what I mean? And then that's a seed that gets planted. But here's the thing. As you're building something for you on the side, have somebody pay you for a service to do the same thing, right? If you guys are deciding, like, here's what's really cool. Last night, did you guys see it in the group? I deleted it, but I posted for like 5 minutes. I posted late night dev, right?
Yeah, I was so confused because I went to go click on it and it wouldn't let me click on it. I was like, ah, he deleted it.
So check this out. Somebody popped on, right? Somebody popped on and they said, hey, I love this group. I want to make more songs. And I have a friend, they're flying in and they're my song partner. They have millions of followers. We make music together. She goes, normally I fly to London to meet my producer. And I saw that you can make songs with AI and all of a sudden I'm hooked. She goes, you know how much money that's going to save me in time? She goes, literally I have to fly. I live in Vegas. I have to fly to London to be able to do this. And she goes, can we work on something together? And I told her my prices. Yeah, it's $10,000 for like the album to be produced, which is the one-time deal, or $2,500 plus 50% royalties. Right. And I'm hoping that she goes for the royalties because then I mean, dude, take off with that freaking song and I make money on those royalties. You know what I mean?
You're going to make more money on the royalties probably than you are the monthly.
But if I sell the 10,000, well, guess what? I'm trying to move to Vegas. I don't need 30,000 for the house. You know, that's all I need. I'm in.
Right. Well, I guess what I was saying though too is if you have them do royalties, you're gonna get those royalties for a lifetime.
100%.
So
100%.
Yeah.
So a couple things I thought of when you said the 10,000, you answered that question. It reminded me of a friend who had an agency in Denver. I think he still does, but he moved. And he had some high clients, and basically he dropped a price how he got started, and that worked. And then so the next one he just raised it, and then he raised it just because that was coming in, and of course you can only handle so much, so you can keep raising and getting higher quality, more long-term clients. But back to circle around to what you started to say about the dream home, the drive, and something else. Of course, I'm from real estate, so that automatically kind of catches my attention. What were the other two?
Yeah, dream home, driveway, and location. So it's the same way when you're talking about real estate, right? I talk to doctors, and so they don't know internet marketing, right? They don't know the whole way of how to get people from the internet to their wallets, right? Like, how do you do that, right? So, well, the process is it's a 3-step process, okay? So, let me just pull up a piece of paper to show you.
Pull up our whiteboard.
Maybe this needs to be next week's talk business.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know how extensive it is.
Oh, I mean, this is my entire sales process. I don't go on a sales call without this anymore. Yeah, so because this one little sales script has made me more money than anything. Right? So here is the process. This is called the business development roadmap, all right? This is how I talk to normal people when you talk about internet marketing, okay? So here we have the dream home. Okay, so this is your logo, your branding, all of the things that you've been dreaming of your business that you wish you could create, right? Well, that's the stuff that like, it's like, how does it look on the front? How does it look in the back? You're always adding on stuff. Like this dream home is like, it's always growing. You're always building and developing. This is your website. This is your social media pages. This is your YouTube. These are like the things that are like you establish once in a sense, and you don't have to keep working on all the time, but you still live in it. You still invite people back. You want the goal of a dream home and your goal of your online business is to invite someone to your business and they stay with you for the rest of your life, right? It's almost like getting married, right? And it's like, you want this to be so inviting as an online presence that they're like, I want to stay here. I feel confident that this person can help me. I trust them. However, that's the end state. In order to get people there, we also have to create what's called driveways, right? So driveways are what we invite people back to their website, right? When you guys signed up for the school group, I invited you guys to the website, right? However, I invited you from where? Facebook, okay? That's the location, right? So think about there's three processes. There's your dream home, what you've been building. I hope that you guys stay with me for the rest of your life and my life, right? Like, I hope that we have a relationship that we are building phenomenal things. We're building multi-million-dollar businesses. We're selling it for $1 billion, right? Like, I hope that's a relationship. We have royalties and we're connected for the rest of our life because our songs make us millions, right? Whatever we create, I hope that's the goal. However, I invited you here through a driveway. I created a page and I said, come back, hang out with me, right? This is usually where you make money, right? You guys join, you paid $7, right? So now you're in this driveway. That's the invitation back to your home. Okay. Now the location is, where did you meet me, right? Facebook, right? Well, same thing with your guys' clients. Where did they meet you? Right? Where are you going to, are you running Facebook ads? Are you taking that ad and you're putting it on Facebook and then you're inviting them back to a landing page that has a opt-in, that has a contract, or an application, or a straight checkout page. And then they come to your dream home because they come to your course and they sign up to your calls and whatever it is. Right? So this is a long-term process. But you got to start building the dream home. You got to put the logo on. You got to, because that brands everything else.
So I guess the question is, you said this is your script. How do you script it?
That's it.
Okay.
Well, guess what? We got to start with the dream home, right? The dream home is
Right.
going to be the first 2 months, right? So that's 7,500 for the first 2 months, right? That's going to include your logo, your branding, your homepage, your about page, your thank you page, your welcome sequence, your email, everything that we need to set up in the first 2 months. After that, well, we got to start worrying about how we're going to be inviting people back. Well, when you invite people back, you have to monetize that process, right? So that process is its whole nother step. Even though this box is a little bit smaller, it's not more insignificant, right? You need blood for a business. You have to have, in order for a business to be in business, you have to have clients, you have to have customers, you have to have people that come in it. Every business is the same, right? So in order for them, you have to invite them back. Well, that has to be monetized properly, right? So that includes a sales page, that includes the checkout page, that includes the upsells, the downsells, the emails, the follow-ups. This is not just a simple thing. This is an ongoing process. The very last part is the location, right? So I personally don't do ads. So I hire somebody else for ads. So after I build your driveway in your dream home, your job, right? And I'm talking to the client, your job is continuously, as a regular basis, tell people about what we're building. You have to tell them that we're building this and send them to the driveway into the dream home. My job isn't the location. Your job is the location. If you want to hire somebody for ads, go hire somebody for ads. I'll build them a driveway. Right?
That makes sense.
7,500 for the first 2 months, and then it drops down to $5,000 a month as long as you want us on your team.
That's
Okay.
awesome. I love it.
May I ask a question real quick?
Please.
Thank you. Okay, so what does the 5,000 usually cover? Because I was thinking about, like, okay, some social media marketing, like a couple videos and scripting the videos, but I'm not really too clear on how to get a $5,000 contract for maintenance, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So website building, right? One time is logos, website build, creating a video, right? But website building with contract, it's a huge difference, right? It's the first month, it's logo with the website build and email follow-up. The second month, it's the landing page, the sales page, the ad creation, the course creation, right? That's the second stuff. And then every month after, well, then it's email campaigns, right? Who's going to send out the emails to the customers on a regular basis, right? I in my job with the ammo company, we did that every Friday. We sent out one email. Hey, this is what we've been doing this week. Click the link. This is what we got to offer. Well, that somebody has to do that job. Like, you don't just build a Lamborghini and then hand it to your client and then be like, good luck, Like, no, you gotta say, hey, like, this is how I'm going to service this afterwards. Afterwards, you're going to have to want to tell people about this on a monthly basis, right? Like, you want more clients regularly, right? Like, well, this is, now that we have your email list, who's going to talk to them on a regular basis? You could teach them and you can hand it over, but most of the time they're busy doing, like, if you go after a doctor, right, and your client's a doctor, well, they're not email marketers, they're doctors. You know what I mean? They should be doing doctor stuff, not email marketing stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
That'd be silly, right? If you go after somebody that's a singer and you create an AI band for them and you're the behind the scenes, well, guess what? They're the face of it. And you're the guy that writes the emails. You're the guy that creates the songs. You're the guy that creates the album and the album art. You're the ones that continues to make the music. You're the one that does all the stuff behind the scenes on a regular basis. You're the one that makes the stuff for YouTube or the Facebook, whatever you so choose, and you sell them, right? So every month there's YouTube to blog, right? If they make YouTube videos for YouTube, you got to put them on your blog. You got to send them out to email, right? These are all things that AI can do on a regular basis. This is why I love AI so much, because AI could do 99% of this work. This is why I don't work so hard anymore.
Oh, nice. This slide
love
is
it.
very helpful. This slide tells me that answers my question. A lot of it. And you just did. So yeah, thank you. Cool.
Absolutely. Right. Every month they're going to need ad management. Every month they're going to need more graphics for promotions, right? Their business, when are they done building their dream?
Never.
Right? Never. So
Right.
when are they going to remove the person that helped them build a dream home and all this? Like, you're the only one that sees their dream longer than they see it. That's the goal. Hey, like, I know you're going to need this. After I build you the video, well, guess what? You're going to need this. Who's going to comment on those videos? Are you? Do you want me to do that for you? So somebody's fast to reply, and then it goes even faster, and then you get more engagement because people are responding on your stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's a difference. Who's going to share it into all these groups? Who's going to reach out and try to find promotional partners so they could make TikTok videos for your songs? I'll do that
Yeah.
for you. You know what I
And
mean?
then you set it up with AI to do it
Yeah.
automatically. You automate it. Yeah, beautiful.
AI should be your first employee on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't hire somebody, do it yourself and use AI. Okay. That's
Mhm.
why it's so important. Okay. Like, AI is powerful. All right. With one-time clients, it's not a cup. It's not a cup. You're selling your time and you're out hunting one time by getting one-time clients. Like, hey, I'll build you a video. That's not a cup. Contracts are large cups. All right. One-time clients, not large cups. Contracts are large cups. Hey, it's a 30-day notice to quit. Give me a heads up notice, and I'm going to be on your team as long as you want me on your team. Right. So check out this. There's been times, you see how it says take care of this cup? There's been times where, when, you know how I said, like, there's times that I'm not fully delivering. Well, like, there's times that I over deliver and the client gets way more than they freaking make. There was times when I'm getting paid $5,000 and the client made $500,000 that freaking month. They didn't give me a bonus or raises or nothing. You know what I mean? They just, good job, Jeff. You know, and then I promoted it on my social media and told my friends, and they got mad at me because I took too much credit. And I'm like, lady, I built this for you, but whatever. I digress. All right. So you got to take care of this cup. All right. All right. That was like 3 years ago. I'm still slightly mad about that. Whatever. All right. Like, we hit a home run for this lady, and I bragged about it. And she said, but here's the thing. If you're working for doctors, they don't want you to see like how much money they make, because they're truly trying to help people. Sometimes they're not like, I have internet marketer friends, so I'm over here like, look how much money I can make you. Woohoo. You know, like, I can help you, you know, and like, she's over there like, hey, like, don't tell my clients that I'm making a lot of money off of them. You know, like, it sounds like a misguided intention. And I don't want my people to see that I'm making millions or getting there, you know, and then they're going to be mad at me because I'm making so much money off of them, you know? And like, I get that. And so it is take care of this cup, right? Think through your customers, and be selective in who you pick, right? Like, it is truly, you can pick who you want as a customer, right? And I've had to go through that many times where, like, sometimes you get a bad one and you have to like get rid of that one, and it's a bad egg. It's not fun to cash that check, and it sucks. There's a lot of work in it. So here's the cool thing is you could pick your clients over time, right? Like, you get to pick your clients and you could work with them. And so it does pay off, you know? So take care of this cup. What you guys think? It's my class today.
It's great. Austin raised his hand.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, got a question for you. So, let's say you get someone's website built out. They've already paid for a month. do you by then would you even offer, or like, what is your refund policy? How does that work? None. No,
Bro,
no, no.
in the
there is-
contract. Okay. Yes, that is so great. Go ahead. Tell me why. Why, Austin?
So the reason why I'm asking is because you'll get people to be like, well, this isn't what we discussed, or this isn't this. Well, this isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing, or this isn't how it's supposed to work. You'll
Yeah.
have those people, and that's the one reason why I ask is because of the fact of you're not only doing websites, but you're also doing software. And that's the reason, kind of the reason why I was asking.
Yeah. Bro, refunds hurt.
Yeah, I bet.
Refunds hurt. Now, here's the thing. In my contract, guess what I put? No
What?
refunds.
Wow.
And guess who signs it before I even cash my check?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They sign it and they say no refunds. And I'm letting no, because guess what? Up front, you have to know as you're building, don't sell somebody crap, right? Like that's going to haunt you in your dreams. It's more about you sleeping at night than it is. Like the reality is there is this karmic justice in the world where like you only have one reputation, right? If somebody says, hey, you deliver crap, they're going to put it out, right? And they're going to tell it, and it sucks sometimes. It's just going to happen, and refunds happen. Now, here's the thing is the one-time deals that's what happens from refunds is because you're like, dude, I'm trying to build it, but I have to go get another client, and I already cashed the $5,000, $10,000 check you sent. Well, now you have to continue to work on their idea because their idea, you're speaking Spanish, and they're speaking Spanish, and you're speaking German. You have to get your visions together and create whatever that vision is. Well, that takes time.
Of course.
It takes months to be able to communicate between two humans to create something. If you just do it one time, you're going to get the refund and you're also selling something different. You're selling an end result. I'm not selling an end result. I'm selling that I'm going to work with you to continue building out your dream. Whatever you give me that month to do is what I'm going to help you build. If you don't want to build a Facebook page and you don't want to start promoting, well, that's fine. I'm still on your team. If you want to build a course, let's build a course.
Right.
You know, I'm on your team. You always have one. And here's the thing. When you have the contract in place, you're not negotiating every time you talk. Every time I talk to my client on the phone, I'm not negotiating sales and money. That's really stressful. That's like getting in a fight with your wife or your spouse. And then every time you guys get in a fight, like you're talking about money. Really,
Yeah.
it's like you're talking about something completely different. It's like, no. But it's like it's always about money. So when you have a contract in place and you have a 30-day notice to quit, it's, hey, give me a 30-day notice so I could transfer all the assets over to your team. And then that 30-day notice, there's absolutely no refunds in the contract because I'm selling my time. I have to hire other people like to build the job. Like there's no, if we don't have a clear communication of what we're building and what I'm delivering, then there's that issue. I have to solve that. It's not and then guess what? Me and the client, we jump on the call and then they say, hey, like, this is the issue, right? When I said I have an issue with my clients. I'm not fully delivering. Well, guess what? I just talked to my client this last week and he pointed it out. Hey, like, we got to get this stuff on the road. We got to deliver. You know what I mean? Well, guess what? I believe after that call, real artists ship, right? Real artists ship. They mean that real artists create stuff. Real artists launch it to the world to be judged by the world.
Right.
That's the difference. If you are sitting there and you don't actually deliver, well, then there's nothing to be judged, right? Still do your job. I still believe delivering the quality product. Don't oversell. I would 1000% rather sell somebody something so small and over deliver on a super small project than over deliver on these big ass projects. Software is really tough because a lot of times there's this scope creep. Right? So
Yeah.
you say, oh, I want this still. I want this. Dude, adding a simple drop down and making that function could take days.
Of course. Yeah, no, I totally understand where you're coming from because so can I share a story real quick?
Please.
I had a client, he wanted, for the better word, a ClickFunnels 2.0 in 2 months. And I told him, I was like, that's not possible. We're still working on that project till this day. It's been 2 years, and he's like, why is it not done? I said, your MVP is done, but we like you have something right now that you can go in and use, but it's not fully done yet because of the fact that you wanted so many features.
And he paid a long time ago, right?
Yep, that was before I thought of or before I was even thinking recurring revenue.
So look, now it's 2 years ago. You see
Yep.
what I mean?
Yep.
Right there. Think about this, Austin. If 2 years ago is 24 months, if you would have even charged $1,000 and you would have heard this call 24 months ago, that would have been $24,000 because of this video.
Exactly. Yeah.
By taking action on just $1,000. Austin, I charge $10,000 bare minimum for software development.
Yeah.
Times that by 24 months because the guy wants to work. Think about this, right? Think about ClickFunnels.
$250,000.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's the difference because, you want all those features?
And he no, so okay, so here's another question. Sorry to keep you guys. So I also had the same client. He's like, well, I can go to my buddy that can do this for $1,100. And I
Go to
said,
your buddy.
and I said, okay, you can go to your buddy, but this is the design of the platform. Or let me the invoice is due in 24 hours. And he signed it, or he paid the invoice. But yeah, I was like, I don't understand. Like that's another thing. That's one thing that I've been harping on you about design is because if people don't like the design, they're not going to go for it. You have that's a wonderful software idea. Let's put it on paper and let's see what the design looks like. Because if the design is not to their standard, because I'm a design critique. One of the persons that I'm now working with is like, the design needs to be there. And I was like, okay.
That just I waited tables long ago, and I still think about it when I go to restaurants. But some people just like to complain. It'll never be perfect. Some people it could be perfect, but they want to complain because they want that free dessert or they want that discount. That's why you just you stick to your guns. You hired me. You don't want to hire me. You do the cold, the hard takeaway or cold, and let them go. Go let your buddy do it. See how that works. See if it's any different. When they come back, you charge them more.
So you want to know what's funny is he has multiple softwares that he wanted to do with us, and he ended up having his buddy do them, and I'm like, yeah, how many bugs are there? And he's like, dude, there's bugs all over the place. Like, yeah, I'm catching them every day. I was like, okay.
You'll win him over. You'll win him over. Don't worry about it. Stay in contact and just think of him as like, you're gonna get him back finally.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, you guys, what we're talking about with like customer disputes. So I had AI script me like a whole worksheet or write a whole worksheet, and these questions back them into a corner. You know what I mean? It's like, well, what do you want exactly? Give us examples of videos that you want. And then I was also thinking about putting every feature like a la carte. So I have the ones already pre-selected, and then it says in the proposal straight up, like you get 2 transitions, 2 sound effects, an upload of a meme of your choice or something like that, the thumbnail with text, and then captions, and then like the end that says thank you and subscribe, and then your link like in the description, and then we'll write like the description for you or something like that, and post or whatever. But like it gets very specific, and they can't. Like, can I show you my screen real quick? Is that possible?
Yeah. You see the little square with the arrow down there at the bottom?
Okay.
Oh snap! We're on phone view. This is awesome.
Cool.
There you go. Look at this. This is all
Branding,
AI.
target our audience, video objectives.
Okay, nice.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah. So they, you know what I mean? They have to answer all these questions thoroughly.
So, you know what you could do to automate this?
Please
Mm.
tell me.
Put it into a software.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right?
So what you could do is, here's something that I've always wanted to do, and it's kind of challenging for me and Jeff's what is it called, industry, so to speak. One thing I've always wanted to do is I wanted to create a software. I actually own the domain already, so Jeff, you don't have to go steal it. It's it's called blueprintmyapp.com. And basically what my envision was, okay, someone's coming onto there, they can pick what type of app they want, if they want an app or if they want a software, and they can select a la carte from the different types of features. But with our type of industry, being a software developer, there can be any type of feature. So with that, I'm still trying to do a workaround on it.
I just shared the document in the messages, you guys.
Oh, nice.
You have access to that. So yeah. Feel
Very
free to plagiarize. Take it.
And that was something you just, what was your prompt for that?
Oh.
Here we go.
Oh yeah, I don't know exactly verbatim, but I would just, if I was going to do it again right now, I would say, okay, I'm creating a worksheet for an onboarding process for people that are getting a package deal of videos that I'm making for short form videos that I'm creating for them that they're going to post on their social media. And I want to make sure that I create the correct videos that they're looking for. And then it was really something that simple.
You
Just like AI, right? Just basically speak it out what you're looking for.
you could create a custom command and sell the custom command on my AI team.
And where did you put that, Sam? Is it within this or in school?
That was
Where you said you just shared that.
yeah, in these messages. So if you clicked on the right three dots and then go to in call messages, and then you'll see the link right there.
Or the little chat widget, the little like on the far right down there.
I'm looking for it, but I'll figure it out. Mine
Like
just says change layout, whiteboard, casts. What am I supposed to hit?
So it's gonna be at your bottom right corner.
Not the
Oh,
three
okay,
dots.
down there. I was over by the call. Gotcha.
Thanks for sharing that, Sam.
Of
Yeah,
course, you're welcome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, try to minimize those disputes and be like, well, you said this is what you wanted. Like, I don't understand. You checked that checkbox and it specifically said like you are entitled to what this is, and then maybe you have like a picture or something with the checkboxes that they can't alter. And then, whatever they check, it's like, put in like a description, like, another $3.50 for another transition, or voiceover is going to be $15, whatever it might be.
Well, what that reminded me of is, all the questions is, and you said kind of paints them into a corner. It really does. My mom, leading a large real estate office for many years, she has what she calls the sandwich method or something. Basically, it's don't come into my office with a problem until you have at least two options, solutions to that problem. Because a lot of people just come before they even think about it. They want you to hand them all these answers. So she's really good about just asking questions, kind of like you did. You just say, okay, what do you want? And then when they're forced to think about this stuff, what's your solution? What should I do? Then they realize the work that goes into it or how little they've thought about it.
Yeah. It can be a lot. And which is why it's good, because then they go, oh no, I don't want to do this myself. I'm going to have you do it. And then you're like, okay, bam, here's my offer, like, 10 videos.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
And Sam, this is cool. Like, let's just say later on in the future, you do decide, oh, awesome left. Let's just say one day you do decide to create a software with this. In the meantime, right? Like that might be like a low ticket fruit, but like whatever your price is, services, definitely you could start low, but then increase, like Troy was saying, is increase it over time. Like, and then tell people as you're increasing it, right? Like, I'm going to take one more client at this price, right? Like like, I'm going to take my first 2 clients at this price, right? Well, that means there's a limited supply of, oh my God, I have to become one of the first 2, right? So like sometimes just getting your first client proves out the offer that anybody wants it. The first sell is more important than trying to get the second sell. Okay, like, so in order to try to like set up a whole system, sometimes it's better to take one person through that whole process and set up the system as you build it with them. You know, so like send them that onboarding thing, that's great, and then go through that process of, are like, okay, and if they don't like it, let them know, like, hey, like, you're my first. We're gonna work through this till I get a product that you like, because that means the market will like that and want to continue to buy it. So
Right.
then when you have another product, you're gonna say, look at the result I got my client. This is what they bought. Who wants to take it? This is the last time they're going to have this offer for this much money a month, $500 a month, right? $500, you only need 4 clients at $2,000 a month, right? That's a lot. I wouldn't go to 4 clients at $500. I would get $500. Then I would say next client, $1,000, $997.
Mhm.
Next, 1,500. Next client, 2,000 a month, right? And then you're bringing it up. Then your $500 client is super thankful that they've been with you for so long, right? And they're your biggest testimony, because you're delivering that $2,000 like product for the $500 result.
I love that. Yeah.
And so, yeah,
I did think of a software that I wanted. Like, imagine if your phone had arms and legs and like some kind of a face with, like, you know, it looked like C3PO or something like that. I want our software, my AI team, to build a real assistant that gets into your entire Google and everything you tell it to get into, and just like be like C3PO or something. Be like, you know, would you like this? Would you like that? Well, you said that you want this. It's time to do this. Are you ready to do this? I want to build a full-on assistant to sell, like an app though, very convenient app. Like, boop.
I think I just saw a headline in an article. Isn't one of the major players, Apple or Google or something already, that's about to roll something out like that?
Probably. I'm waiting for something. Otherwise, like, I want to build it, but God, I'm building all this other stuff right now, so it's kind of like I would just buy it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, right. Cool.
But that's my most wanted thing right now, as far as software goes.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. And I mean, I think that if somebody builds it, it proves out the idea. You know what I mean? And here's the thing: is, let's just say you had that idea, you might share it with somebody and have somebody help you fund it as you build it, you know, and they're hiring you to build it and they get a percentage or whatever it is, you know, or, you know, like, but you knowing the skill, let's just say you want to build that software, or learn software development on your own time, and then have somebody hire you to build their own software. So now you're learning how to build software. They're challenging you with their project, and you're building what your dream is. So like, I always build my dream while I'm getting hired by somebody else, you know?
Yeah.
Because then I learn cooler things with their projects sometimes, you know, like a lot of times they like, hey, I need this. Well, like, how do I do that? My software doesn't need that, you know, and you have to think more, you know, and so, yeah. And then your idea gets funded essentially to learn. Austin was talking about design earlier. Well, like design, like right now I have a client, right? Well, like essentially if I'm working on getting better at my design skills for UI and user interface, I'm using his software to get better at it. You know what I mean? So I'm getting paid to get better at UI.
Right.
Like, so whatever you're wanting to do, just get paid by somebody else to get better at it, you know, and well, that's your service, you know? So if it's videos and you want to get better at videos, make your own videos so you have proof. And then you could use yourself as like proof of it also, you know? If it's a website, build your own website, you know? So do whatever you're trying to sell that you're doing too, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were saying in the beginning about teaching also. Like, you have to go through all the things and get everything all set up and all that, so you're going to really know what to do. And like, you're making these instructional videos and doing live calls and all that. So the trust level will be like where it needs to be, because you're proving it, showing by demonstration that you know what you're talking about, and that's what you're going to offer them.
100%. And you can be more creative with your own stuff, right? Like sometimes your clients, you're more structured with it, right? Like, and sometimes with your own stuff, you're more like, you could be more creative. You could try different things. You could see what works and what doesn't work. And all right, that one didn't work, and this one does work. And you could, and sometimes they don't like you experimenting as much on theirs, you know, but on yours, you don't have somebody over there like telling you can't do it. You know, you can do it, you know, and
That's
so you can-
right.
crazy dreams. So yeah.
Very
Cool.
cool. Well, you got me motivated to just get something up, but it takes a little bit to make it, you know, like really something that can sell, and that's going to be something that it's laid out correctly so the customer knows exactly what you're promising you're going to give them. Besides the building thing, I'm talking, you know, the $7 product and to get the email before this huge Mifke is all built. I'm still trying to work on that, but today I'm working on what you said, just getting some quick money, like getting money today. And bro, it's because I want to pay for what your service. I was watching the video yesterday, and one of the replays, and you were talking about like the I don't know, it was like the big offer. I want to buy the biggest offer you have, is what I'm trying to tell you. So I want to get this money going.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I just dropped in a link. It's called myaiteam.com/TOD, traffic on demand. And then you guys could use the code SCHOOL, right? So if you guys didn't get access to that yet, it's an audio course, right? So it's literally an audio course on how, like, this is essentially how to create an offer if you've never had an offer, and then how to get traffic for free for it. And then eventually you can use paid traffic. All right. So this is my documentation of the journey when I first started. And this was about 3 years ago when I moved out of that apartment into this way bigger house. Like, this is during that journey of life-changing time. And I documented the process because I knew one day I'd look back on it. And so, it still exists. So you guys, if you guys want, you could go through that process and like hear it. Sam, that will really help you create an offer and then like sell it really fast. Like, this is the thing. Like, we've had people go through this course and then launch and then make $10,000 that month because they did exactly what this is, selling $7 products. You know what I mean? So like, you could do the same. And if you have a $7 product, cool, I can help you promote, but you could also sell the services that I talk about. Like what we just talked about today, apply the same thing to the $7 product that I teach you in there, you know? So.
Mm-hmm. And then, okay, thank you, first of all. And then you said, just put school. I'm looking at it. Okay. So customer information, put in my credit card information, right?
No, you should just be able to enter the code before you have to enter the coupon, and before you have to enter the promo code, and you don't have to enter you shouldn't have to enter in your credit card.
Sorry, I'm looking for where the promo code is.
Down towards the bottom where the order summary is.
Oh, enter promo code. There it is. Oh, nice. And then just SKOOL.
Yep.
I see it. There it is. Oh, we need my name, that information and all that still, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you'll see that has upsells and downsells as the process. So as you're going through it, like I said, so that sales funnel made me $23,178 the month that I launched it, in the month I moved out, using what I taught in there and doing. I was doing what I was teaching. You know what I mean? And people are asking, how are you making the money? Well, take the course.
Nice. Oh man, I appreciate that. Yeah, I just want to reinvest right back into keeping it going with you and expanding that.
Yeah, it makes it so you don't have to pay. So you guys showed up. That's paying with your time. So thank you.
And thank you. You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Provided a lot of value as usual.
Indeed. All right, guys. I love you. Let me
I
know
love
what
you
you
too.
talk soon. Bye.
Have a prosperous day. Well,
Indeed.
Troy, see you later.
Yeah, I connected with you on Facebook, Sam. Later, Jeff.
Awesome. Okay.